Gabliv's a good nickname, mate. Gabliv's a
I
good
saw you said that and I was like, I'll take it.
Oh, we're on like nickname too.
Are we friends now?
What's my nickname? I
You know
always
what?
wanted
For
that
so
nickname.
long, I thought your name was Leif.
Everybody does.
Because I remember I was texting Finley and I was like, Leif? I think his name's Leif.
I'm so used to every variation of the name Leif that like, nah, I didn't give a fuck, man. Like,
Leif.
I'll respond to anything that starts with an L and ends in an F. if I'm in the room, like Leif.
Leif? Where's that come from? Why?
Norway, it's Scandinavian.
Are your family Scandinavian?
Oh, the fuck.
They're Scottish.
Scottish. Fully Scottish.
Are they from UK?
I'm actually 6% Sardinian.
Shut the fuck up.
Which
To be fair,
you can probably tell.
You know what?
I'm pretty Saliskin.
So. I would have assumed you might have had like a wee bit of Italian in you.
That's all good.
Just put that.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Put it in your.
And
Tinder bio.
technically, I do. So I'm going to put that on my Instagram bio, man.
I've been looking
Scotland
at
flag.
articles about you, but everyone says you're from Glasgow.
Italian flag. I am from Glasgow.
No, you're from UK.
So with PR and shit like that, it's better to just say Glasgow because nobody gives a fuck about East Kilbride. Like if somebody's reading from London, they go East Kilbride. Oh, that's really cool. He's from East Kilbride, man. Where the fuck is East Kilbride? You know what I mean? Like if you say he's from south of Glasgow, I was like, sound Glasgow.
You tell everyone that you're from the south of Glasgow.
I do when it's like if I'm outside of Scotland, I'm immediately from Glasgow.
Yeah, fair.
But
What do people say to you when you say that you're from Glasgow? Because I've always had people that are like, "Oh, is it not quite rough?"
I like Celtic or Rangers.
Oh, I get that a lot as well. What are you?
Celtic.
Oh, okay.
What are you?
I'm a Kilmarnock fan.
Right, sorry to hear that. But like, if even you could be in like Ibiza or like even Maga, people are like, "Oh, Celtic or Rangers." I'm like, Celtic man. They're like, "Oh, fuck the Rangers." You're like, mate, you don't know. You when a Rangers guy comes in, you're gonna say the same about Celtic.
Yeah, true.
It's just so like ingrained in like.
Watching your vapes make me laugh.
Why?
You're just like. Anyway. I've never met anyone so animated in my life.
It's the ADHD, man.
Do you have ADHD?
Mm-hmm. But well, like, which explains like so much of my youth.
Oh, really?
Totally, man. Like,
I'm gonna have to interrupt you really quickly. I've not even introduced you. Hi, Leif.
what's happening?
How you doing?
I'm good. Let's continue the conversation.
Anyway, go on.
Do you want me to intro myself?
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna call you Leif. How you doing?
Okay. Hi.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Leif. I'm a music producer. I make shite videos on the internet and fucking do shit like this because it's fun.
Fair. You done scratching yours?
I'm scratching my scabies arse, man. we need to address the scabies at some point.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
I know.
We'll bring it up again.
Is that you scratching? You're crying it at me. You scratching your arse? What else might make you scratch?
Anyway, back to what we were saying. Your ADHD. So you have ADHD.
Yeah, so it totally explains my youth, man. So I got diagnosed when I was like 22, I think.
That's really late.
I was really late, and it totally makes it like see now, like when I look back and shit, because like even through my late teens and shit, like I was always getting people being like, "Oh, you have ADHD, like you have ADHD," and I was like, I didn't really know, like because I always associated ADHD with the misbehaved kid in class, or that was all like people that were, I don't know, when you're young that like are always getting fucking into like trouble and shit like that. And although I was kind of that, it wasn't. I just didn't click, and it didn't click with my mum either. And then like friends and like other people that I knew, they were like, "Man, you totally have ADHD." And then I went and got diagnosed, and I went to speak to a therapist, and then they were like, "Yeah, you've got fucking ADHD."
Were you the naughty kid in class?
Not the naughty kid, because I wasn't naughty, but I'm naughty boy. But I just liked fucking about.
Yeah.
And I didn't like doing work. And it's the same even with fucking jobs. I would rather be doing socialising. That's the best bit about
you're a
work
networker.
A networker, even if it's just I'm networking for friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like networking event, I want friends. I don't want business associates. So, that's the best bit about work. It's the best bit about school is the socialising bit. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't fucking. I don't want to do my job, man. Like, you joking?
Yeah.
Pay me here to fucking talk to my homies. You know what I'm saying?
Did you like school?
Nah, man.
Or did you have a hard time?
It wasn't a hard time. Like, do you know? I think it's always funny. Like, if you say something like, "Oh, were you bullied at school?" Like, and then they're like, "Nah." You're like, "Ah, you look like you should." Like, you look like you should be bullied at school, man. Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't hard or anything like that. But I got a tutor in third year for maths and English. Like, so because I needed it, man, because I just wouldn't study. Like, I can't study. So I got good grades for like maths and English and shit like that in third and fourth year. But then when it came to fifth year, like, all the stabilisers came off, and I was just like, I can't do this. So I dropped out, and then
You dropped out at 16, yeah.
dropped out at 16, which is actually fucking crazy when you think about it. Like,
16's so
it's
young.
so young. It's so young. And I dropped out, and I just was a skateboard instructor, and that was fucking.
That's really cool.
It was cool at the time.
Yeah.
I get fired from that job.
Why?
Because I patched work one time.
I got fired from Route 1.
Did you? What, in Glasgow?
Yeah.
For what?
Because I didn't know shit about skateboarding. They just wanted a girl to like come along and like fill in the gap that they had, because they had no females. It was just like all these guys, and my pal worked there, so he got me a job in there. I didn't know shit. Like, someone came in and asked me like how to make their skateboard go faster, and I was like, just fucking try harder. I don't fucking know.
Push.
Maybe don't be so lazy. But yeah, like, I was just shit at it. So, but you got fired for not showing up once.
Or
no, I'm sorry.
Much,
what, you must have done something else. Like,
no, I swear, like, it was such a badly run like company, man. Like, badly run skate park. Like, the people that owned it didn't skate. They didn't know fuck all about like fucking skateboarding. Like, it was run by a guy that had like a fucking estate agent or some shit like that. And then the other guy was a fucking gymnast or stuntman or some. It was a fucking weird pairing. I even remember one time. One of the managers comes in. He's like, "So we're gonna change the way things work around here. So we're gonna have like a business ethos." And I'm like, "Mate, shut up, you fucking baldy wank! Look at everyone that's in the skate park, man. Like, nobody gives a fuck about a fucking ethos. Cunts come in here because they skate and they want a job. They just want to fucking cut a bit, man. They don't want a fucking an ethos. The fuck are you talking about, man? Like, leave us, man. Just." Let us fuck about.
So you dropped out of school, got a job that you didn't like.
I was already working there.
Did you like growing up in UK?
It's alright, man.
Yeah.
It's like any town in it. Like, I feel like it's so. It's fine if you don't have any real kind of aspirations that require you to be outside of a small town. Like, if you have a plan of like. If your plan is to get a fucking stable job and fucking start a family and like have a solid kind of income and all that kind of shit, then fine, man, like, grow up in your small town and do that shit. But if you have like aspirations of doing shit that's like for me, it's obviously like being a fucking musical artist or something like that, or if you're like podcasting and whatever, like, you can't just do it from the confines of your small town. Like, you have to branch out. And I feel like when that happens, when you stop giving a fuck about the voices in your fucking small town, like, life just becomes this fucking. It just opens up, man. It becomes like a fucking oyster. Like, you literally are just like, the opportunities are fucking endless. You meet so many more people, man, and you stop giving a fuck about the shit that you wear.
Have you had a lot of shit from people from your hometown?
Not really, man. Like, just I suppose when because sometimes when see if you dress a bit differently, then people are like, fucking. Is it the go-to thing is like, that's fucking gay, man.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I'm dressing this way because I want to dress this way. Do you know what I mean? Like, and if they do, because it's.
One thing in Scotland that I've noticed, I think people are very scared of things that are different.
That's the thing.
And everyone.
That's literally just what I was about to say. It's because they're scared.
Yeah.
They can't see themselves doing that, and maybe it's like a kind of a part of them wishes that they could. And that's where the kind of that kind of discomfort comes from.
Definitely, like, people just people are scared of things that they don't know, and people are really comfortable with being comfortable, and I think that is a really shit way of being in life, if I'm
But
completely honest.
if that's what they're comfortable with, if they are genuinely happy, then fucking sound,
Then
man.
that's fair enough, but it could never be me. It could never be me.
And it will never be me.
Yeah, I can tell.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're living it. But that, like, I think that's just such a big thing, man. Is like when you stop giving a fuck about your small town, like it just becomes so much fucking better. Like,
I cared so much about what people thought about me in school.
so
Like,
what school did you go to?
I went
to... No,
have you heard of it?
I've heard of that.
It's fucking awful. I swear has a reputation of just being the worst fucking private school. It was just shit.
Does it?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, there was
Thanks.
lovely people there too. Like, I met lots of
Yeah.
nice people, but like the people that were arseholes were
There's a
fucking
general kind of ambience of
Yeah.
snobbery.
Yeah, and like some of the people there were just so ridiculously rich and so out of touch with reality, and like I had a really hard time in school, and I was going through a lot of stuff with my family, and I just like was looking at everyone else, and I was like, I know everyone's going through their own shit, but like fuck all of you have no idea how fucking privileged you are.
I like that. How did that like manifest itself, like that kind of bad what did that look like for you, like a bad experience in school?
Like you're asking me like to tell you something
In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
In an articulate way. I was trying to
so
if you want to divulge.
There's nothing that I won't talk about. There was this group of boys that were in my
Of
year.
course it's going to be the boys.
It was gonna be the boys. To be fair, like the girls were bad too, but like I think the girls were a lot more like bitchy and like snidey. The boys were just like
Yeah.
And there was this group of boys, and one of them was my ex in that group, and he just made my life a living fucking hell. Like, and I didn't even do
If
anything
you're watching
wrong.
this, fuck you.
He cheated on me several times, like, you know, like high school shit. Like
Yeah.
it didn't like.
What age were you?
I was 16, but like, you know, at that age when it's like everything's so intense, and also in school you don't fucking pick like who you're surrounded with. You're just shoved in with all these people all the time. I think that's what's so shite about school. But yeah, he cheated on me I think maybe about 15 times, and I was like, don't worry about it, it's all good. He cheated on me in front of my fucking face once. Like,
Really? How long were you together for?
Like on and off for like a year, but like I mean, like I think we broke up like 10 times. Like it was just so toxic and ridiculous. He was just a shite boyfriend. I think he had his own shit going on, but I honestly, fuck you again. I'm not better about it.
Totally not, man. I fucking love it though.
But yeah, so he just made my life a living hell, and he cheated on me all the fucking time, but I just accepted it because this sounds so fucking bad that I'm admitting this. I forgave him and let it slide, because if I didn't, I knew those boys were going to make my life hell. So I just went along with it, and it was like a way of like protecting myself. But they would like throw food at me in the lunch hall, they would write stuff about me in like the school walls, they'd tell me to go kill myself and stuff. Like, it was really, really
That's
traumatic.
brutal, man.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I always find that fucking weird. Like, I don't think my school, I mean, maybe it's just because I haven't experienced it, but I don't think anything really like that went down in our school. Like, there's a few people that claimed they got bullied, and I was like, man, you deserve to be like, no, but like some people, I'm thinking of one person in particular, and it was like, you're just the most rattiest wee prick I've ever met in my life. Like, and he, like, if you ever like a bit, like, and I'm talking like genuine banter, not like banter that's like gone too far. Like, if you're just like taking the piss with each other, like back and forward, like the tiniest wee bit, nothing major. And he'd be like, he would fucking go to the guidance teacher, man, and tell on me. And I get pulled up, ridiculous. And then the guidance teacher would come to me like, did this happen? I was like, nah, man, what the fuck? And then she'd be like, I know, it sounded like.
Oh really?
Yeah, like, it would use any excuse. It was just a wee bitch, man. So.
Poor guy. Like, I obviously had pals. Like, I wasn't a complete fucking loner. Actually, no, I kind of was a loner in the end. I kind of was. But my only real friend, like, proper, like, good friend, was the deputy head teacher of the school.
Sad.
It is sad. But she was amazing. Like, honestly, to this day, still in touch. I love her so much.
That's kind of cute. Did you go, like, up to her bit of lunch and shit? And, like...
Oh my god, yeah, she had a great office, and she used to keep some sandwiches and cakes for me from when they were had like.
See, that's class. That's good.
Me and her were really good friends. She was class, but I think just like I didn't feel like
how
I fit in.
you can talk so candidly as well about like being groomed and shit. It's like it's like.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
No, I think it's kind of sweet. Like, to see that relationship was obviously flourished and shit, and you say, okay,
No. It was never like that. I just went through a really shit time.
No, and also you said that.
I
That is
think
pretty
growing
cool,
up
man,
in Scotland, I found that like there's such like a bully culture, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Because I think there is like such a thing in Scotland of like shite bag culture, like there's people are really like brutal with each other, and like it's fun. Like I love Scotland. I love Scottish people. I think they're class. But even like us talking about like they're scared of change, they don't like anyone that like stands out a bit, likes to do their own thing, anything that's unique. Like even people in my school, there was this one girl who was into drama. She used to wear whatever she wanted. Like, I mean, we had uniforms, but like non-uniform day and stuff. She wore whatever she wanted, and everyone always like ripped the shit out of her for it. Even though like and I always respected her so much because she just continued to do what she wanted.
Yeah, that's good.
And didn't conform, whereas I fucking conformed so much in school. Like, I just...
Yeah, I think it's a mentality thing. Like, some people are ready for... Some people just don't give a fuck. Like, when I was until like the age of 14, man, like I had fucking... When I was primary 7, I started getting into like rock music, like Led Zeppelin, fucking AC/DC. I was just like die hard, like fucking... music, just like that was my fucking life. Obviously it still is, but like at the time it was just new. And I was new in the sense now I was starting to express, like I started to grow my hair, I started to dress in like kind of emo kind of clothing, or like heavy metal, baggy jeans, like fucking skate shoes and like baggy t-shirts and shit. So when I got into high school, I was like dressing like a metalhead. Like I had at that point in high school I had like long hair.
You had long hair?
Aye. I'll fucking show you a picture.
Oh my god,
man.
I need to see this.
This is fucking hilarious actually. I had dreadlocks as well.
Wait, what?
But I think that like it was because I actually didn't give a fuck. But as I got older, I started to kind of want to get bitches.
You wanted to get bitches?
I wanted to get bitches, and I was like, I need to.
And did you?
Only when I cut my hair.
Oh really?
Yeah, because like I don't know, and I don't like. I was a young looking child. Like I was a young looking 12, young 13.
I look about 17.
Yeah, you do.
I
do
look
young.
really young.
And I feel like I've always kind of looked.
You look young as well. See, when you said to me
you
were 26, I literally think you look about 22. That's good though. See, when you're older,
I think it is good. I think it's good because like when you're younger, you always want to look older.
Yeah.
But then when you're older, you're like, I want to like look younger. So I've always kind of had that on my side. Thankfully, we're getting near it on the archives. Oh, we're almost there.
Wait, these archive photos on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Because I did a deep dive of your Instagram and I couldn't find any other dirt. Like, I went all the way back to like when you had no facial hair.
Yes.
Yes.
I did have no facial hair at one point.
You did.
But it's funny because like even now I'm looking through like so on my old Instagram, like you can see like so I used to make, this is 2013.
Oh my god.
So I used to make like videos on.
Let me see that picture of your bum.
That's not my bum. That's my mate Dave's. A video of him went viral, sitting in a garden saying that he get full of crisps, which is hilarious.
He got full of crisps.
Like he was sitting in a chair in somebody's garden. I don't know whose garden it was, and he was fucking fleeing, man. And he's just like pure. He just looks at his fucking face, and then he just goes, the camera. He notices the camera, and he goes, "I'm absolutely full of crisps," and it's fucking hilarious, man.
I'm trying to find photos of your hair.
All right, so let's.
You look so different.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
That's Dave's house that he's just seen.
Lovely.
There's a picture where I've got long hair and it's straightened. Straightened it is.
Oh my god. No offense, you do like a wee girl, don't you?
Totally. I mean, I didn't even have a fucking, like, you would have been digging for gold to find a fucking pube among that, by the way. Like, I was as bald as a dolphin.
Good for you for growing out your hair though and not caring what people think.
My cousins, that's the dreadlocks in the left.
Jesus Christ, you look so different. Do you get a perm?
Nah.
Your hair is just naturally curly.
Naturally curly.
Wow.
I used to hate it as well, man. That's why I used to straighten my hair, because I was like, I hated having curly hair.
Nah, it really suits you.
I think because hairdressers will always tell me like, oh, fucking grow your hair, man, or own the curliness. And I was like, then I got to the point where I was like, you know what, fuck it, man, I'm just gonna fucking keep my hair curly.
And now curly hair mullets are in.
Now curly hair
You're
mullets are in.
burping away here.
I think I have some serious gastrointestinal issues.
Do you? Do you have IBS?
No, but I'm celiac.
Oh.
So I think it's been caused by like years of just fucking eating shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then that's just led to like.
So when did you find out you were celiac?
Again, about 4 years ago, maybe.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That you only found out 4 years ago. Were you not in so much pain?
It was awful.
Mate,
It
what?
was seriously bad, man. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, seriously, what is this? What is my body is like? Is everyone like this? Like, I was dieting for a fight, and so I was like stripped it right fucking down. I wasn't having any bread, wasn't having any, and subsequently I wasn't having any gluten. And then like fucking it got better, man. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm not fucking burping all the time. I'm not like fucking shitting my pants every 2 seconds. I don't smell like a walking fucking Suze tank every intermittently when I fucking release a bit of this pent up gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was fucking sound, man. And then after the diet, I started eating, and I was like, nah, man, something's no fucking right. And then I went to get checked, and it was like.
So you found out you had ADHD and that you were celiac on the same year?
2 birds with 2 stones, but just in the same throw.
I think we should get into your music.
Let's
Because
do
you
it.
were on BBC Introducing.
Yes, yeah, recently
I saw your music video. See when you first put it out and you're like humping a horse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And you were all
Not humping
gold.
the horse.
And you were naked. You fucking love getting naked. I used to have you in Be Real and you'd always post Be Reals naked. You
Don't act
did.
me like that.
You did. You did. I don't know why I don't have you anymore. I think I went through a cleanse and I deleted everyone.
No, I've still got it. I just don't post.
No.
What is Be Real?
It's just
I
you
kinda-
being real.
I didn't, but I don't really get it. I don't really give a fuck
You
about
used
like.
to put a lot of effort into getting naked though.
Yeah, I'm always naked, by the way. Like under these clothes, I'm wearing nothing. But in my house, I am literally always naked.
In front of
man.
your parents.
Not like I don't have my cock out and shit like that, man. But like I have. You can definitely. It doesn't leave a lot to the imagination.
You're coming up with an excuse here. Just say yeah, you do get naked.
I walk
in front
around
of
with my dick out in the house, man.
in front of your parents.
In front of my parents.
I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
don't walk around with my cock out, but I do have very little clothing over it. But they're used to it, man. Like they like I feel like nudity.
Do you have siblings?
I've got a little sister.
Do you?
Honestly, like I am the naked one in the house. Because it's so much more comfortable, man. I
think this is a guy thing. I'm telling you, this is a fucking guy thing. Because there's another guy I know that just walks around naked all the time in his house. Like I don't know any of my friends that do that.
Also, I think it actually could possibly be an ADHD thing. Like, so there's a thing with like ADHD where like people have ADHD don't like to wear tops because it's like restricting.
To be fair, my pal has ADHD and I can see her like shifting about and she's like, I just feel like claustrophobic.
But like they rip the tags off of all their clothing as well.
Yeah.
I'm saying they as if like fucking I don't know some like weird cult. But no, like because it's just itches in the back and shit like that. But sorry, I'm digressing from the music.
Yeah, from the music, from BBC.
aye.
It's the ADHD. Back to the music. BBC Introducing.
So what do you want to know?
I want to know about BBC Introducing. How did you get into that?
So I started kind of releasing. So I've kind of released music since like 2017. Then I took a break because I sent stuff to a guy in Australia that is like a pretty big like mastering engineer, and he was like, I was like, should I release a bunch of tunes that I'm like kind of 75% sold on, or should I just take time off releasing and just like focus on like honing my craft essentially?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, I think take time off and just like don't release any tunes, just focus on like sound production, like the sound design, and just really kind of learn. So I did, and then so I kind of released a tune, and I think my first tune was maybe like 2016, 17 or something like that, and then I took a break, started re-releasing in 2020 during the fucking pandemic, which was kind of a bit of a shit show, but like fuck it. And then but like from the get-go, BBC were so fucking supportive, man. Like Phoebe and Shireen and Lindsay, who's like so he's the producer, Lindsay's a G, man. They are all G's, but Lindsay's a G, Phoebe's a G, Shireen's a G, but Lindsay's a G, man. But anyway, so they got me to play King Tut's.
It looked good. I saw some clips.
It was fun as fuck, man.
Yeah.
And like the fact, like, it was funny because I had the next day I got a chest infection, so like my voice was not anywhere where it should have been on the night, but also like fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it's about like the performance at the end of the day. Like I don't, because there's so many good singers out there, and I feel
there's
like
a lot of upcoming artists in them, like around Scotland, which I'm really
oh
enjoying.
totally. I was saying that to my dad the other day, man. Like the quality of Scottish music just now it's really exciting.
I've
like
noticed that. It's been like it's. Before I'd never really noticed much about Scottish artists, but recently like BBC Introduction's coming out with so many cool artists that I'd never. And
the rap scene as well, like the hip hop scene in Scotland,
really?
is like, especially in Glasgow, you get like fucking Bems, Peyton, P Sweatpants, Washy Date, my like ID, like they are.
I'm gonna have to look these people up.
I was saying they're so good, man, and like they're all so fucking class. And there's loads. I just literally named a few, but the hip hop scene's really like, and they're all trying to grow it as well. Like so Richie Muirhead, he runs a thing called the SAMAs, which is the Scottish Alternative Music Awards, and that like it's just done. It's just amazing for hip hop in Scotland. So he's doing fucking sick things. So it's like it is really good, man. Like where Scottish music's at right now is exciting. It's like coming through.
That's so fun.
And it's funny because most of my pals in the music scene are like in the hip hop scene, which is funny because I like so it's funny like.
Yeah, what would you like? What is your genre? Like what?
I would say synth pop, like pop.
I really did enjoy your video. It's so funny.
I love doing it, man, and especially Alex, who filmed it, and Greta, who shot she did the photo shoot for it, for the EP. But Alex did the video, and man, like, see when we were brainstorming ideas and shit, like it was so fucking funny.
Where did
like
the whole idea of you being painted in gold, standing there naked, come from?
So So a girl took a photo of me in my room, right, and I was like, fucking straddling like a table, like just like fucking kind of mounting this table like this, and I was like, I hope you got a crotch shot in that.
Perfect crotch shot.
Amazing. And then after I was like, so when she got the photos developed and they came back, I was like, this is fucking sick. Like it looked like a pure class picture. And I was like,
what the
that's
fuck?
Perfect. Like, and
no. What the fuck? Are you comfortable? Do you need anything?
I'm extremely comfortable.
Do you want paracetamol?
No. Do you need morphine? Do you actually need knocked out? I did that. So she got the photos developed and they came back, and I was like, man, this is fucking sick, man. Like, I feel like I actually want to use this but I was like, nah. So then I was driving and shit, and I was like, I started thinking like I want to do a shoot like that. So I was like, I wanted to do it like a kind of Egyptian theme. Have like 3 girls on either side, and like I'm on this kind of weird fucking throne thing, naked. Just kind of, the plan was to be like this, and like just surrounded, and like have like kind of palm tree type things, and like there would be a platform, and so I'm like seeing it in my fucking head. I'm being like fed grapes and all that kind of shit. Like, so then I spoke to Greta, and then we kind of honed it in a bit more, made it a bit more like classy than what my idea was. But we didn't like venture too far. We just kind of changed like the colour scheme. It wasn't like Egypt, we did Greek, so it's based on Apollo. So the name of the EP is going to be Apollo and His Unfortunate Love Affairs, and it's just like Apollo and the fucking in the picture, hence the bow and the shit. And so each girl and person is like a muse of Apollo. So like there's like subliminal. Is it subliminal? Is that what you say? There's like symbolism that's like kind of subtle. In it and shit, which is kind of cool, man. But Greta's amazing, man. Like she's a
That
master.
all sounds so cool, and the way you're talking about it just so.
There
I
was
can see how passionate
there was
you
a
are.
lot of thought that went into it, man. Like me and Greta spent like a good few weeks like building the set and just like kind of getting spitballing fucking ideas back and forward for it. And I actually felt lucky that I got to work with her, man. Like because she is just such an amazing photographer and she's a total visionary. And she's now working down in London, but I was like I have to fucking snatch this bitch up before she gets like too expensive.
Yeah.
And then we became like fucking best pals after it, and same with me and Alex, man. It's like they're like my fucking.
That is so
my G's.
cool.
And they're just so sound, man. Like honestly, I couldn't fucking talk any more highly of them. Like they're just so fucking good at what they do.
So is this what you do full time? You get paid to do this, or do
I
your parents help
wish
you?
I did, but like I'm just like right now. So I've been working until this point. So I work with a company called the Drink Cabinet. We do like kind of bespoke like cocktail events and all that kind of shit. But I'm kind of biding my time. I'm just waiting to hear if I get funding. So I've like applied for funding from Creative Scotland.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
So they've got the open fund. So like I'm just now waiting to see if I'm successful, and if I am successful, then I can like not work for
That's
longer.
so exciting.
Because I hate working, man. I hate like I actually.
Like, see, when I go to the restaurant now, I'm like the whole time I'm just thinking about what else I could be doing, like what other episode ideas I could be doing, what other people I could be speaking to, what I could be editing right now. Do you know what I mean? It's just always like my brain, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night with
Like,
an
they're
idea,
wasting your
and I'll have
time.
to write it down.
That's the best thing to do. Like David Lynch, so he's a filmmaker. He did like he did Twin Peaks and stuff like that. Amazing mind, like just such a fucking amazing mind. Like he did fuck man, what's the name of the Maharishi, who's a guru, who's like an Indian thing. So he yoga master, like fucking. He did transcendental meditation with the Beatles. So he taught the Beatles transcendental meditation. So David Lynch was taught transcendental meditation by Maharishi, whatever his, I don't know what his second name is, but fucking class. So I'm trying not to go on too many tangents. I'm trying to bring
It's
it back.
It's okay, don't worry. This is your space to talk.
So thank you so much. That's so kind.
You're so welcome.
So David Lynch he talks about like the importance of like ideas and how like the loss of an idea is just like if you get a really good idea, to lose that idea is almost like a death. It's like a part of your like create, like whatever creative genius you have in your mind, like because like people who, even if they're not regarded as like geniuses, they can have genius ideas. And imagine if you forgot one of those ideas, like, and it didn't ever get to come to fruition. That would be like imagine Tarantino didn't think of Pulp Fiction. But like, so that's the importance of like writing down ideas, man. Like no matter how shit you think they are, like just fucking write them down, because it's like if you forget that idea and you don't get to do it, man, like that's just like, it's such a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
You forget them all the time.
Even if it's like in the middle of the night, I'm like, I will have to write this down, or I'll completely forget.
Do you on your phone? Have you got that notepad?
I have two notepads and my phone, but because I'm always so scared that like I'll break my phone and I'll lose everything. Like everything needs to be on paper as well as on my phone.
Have you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
So I mean, it does back up
but
to iCloud?
I'm paranoid. You never know what's gonna happen in the world. Do you know what I mean? I'd much rather have something that's like solid that I can like, you know, totally write.
There's
down.
something nice about physical
writing, and also I feel like once it's down on the page, I'm like, wow. Because see, when I'm typing, I feel like I'm just typing a text.
Yeah.
But, like writing something down and then like writing out the plans. Because like I have so much shit in here. Like I have like 2 notepads full of like shit, and like only what I quite like about it is like all the ideas, like if someone else was to read them, they'd be like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
But I know what
Yeah,
they
you
mean.
know
Do
that
what I
that's
mean?
what's
So if anyone ever steals it, which
that's
my
important,
ideas
but-
aren't that genius yet, but if anyone ever stole them.
But
Yeah,
writing's
yeah.
quite therapeutic, man. Like writing with a,
Do you
I
write
like
a
it.
lot?
Nah,
Well, you write your own music.
no, but I mean like, actually with a pen.
Would you write
Like,
your
on
music
paper?
on your phone?
No, on my laptop. But I mean, like, I just mean
Really?
like the process of like if you have an idea, writing something down.
Why don't you start doing that with your music?
What, writing down ideas?
Writing down ideas and writing down lyrics.
Oh, I do, but just on my
On
computer.
your computer. But do you think there's something a bit more romantic about like
That's
sitting there?
yes,
writing the
it
song
is
out
more
about a
romantic,
girl.
but like then I'm just becoming a pretentious arsehole for like nobody's benefit. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna be pretentious, at least like have it like on film or something like that, so I can like like if I'm just writing in my room, even though there's a much more easier way to do it than like unless it's being filmed, man. Like I don't give a fuck.
Have you written a song about a girl?
Yes, most of my songs are
about girls.
So when I was releasing in 2020, like it was kind of like dark, like kind of alt pop, and I was channeling like the kind of I like the like there was almost like a kind of a fantasization with like I don't know, man, like so the really bad parts of like a relationship, I just like exaggerate them, or like think of, I kind of like fantasize about a version of that where it's like just like they're like almost like a horror film where they're like this kind of beast. I like doing that for that kind of stuff because it was quite dark and it kind of it worked kind of well. What was your question?
I was just asking about writing songs about girls.
Yes, so those songs were written in particular about my ex when I was 16.
And was she addicted?
She was fucking horrible, man.
Oh, really?
She was a horrible
relationships at that age
girl.
can really, really influence you later
Oh,
on.
totally. It was only when I was like 19 or maybe I was like 20, 21. And I was starting to have kind of like thoughts about like the relationship and shit, and about how she used to treat me and speak to me, and like, and I was like, man, like she was actually really physically and mentally abusive. And I remember talking to my best mate at the time, well, not my best mate, but at that time, Dave, who was like in our friend group, was used to hang about with us and shit. And I remember just talking about how like shit that relationship was, and how and he was like, do you think that she was abusive? And I was like, that's so funny you say that, because it, like literally it was maybe a week or two earlier that I was like had that kind of realization that like she was actually really fucking abusive. Like I remember she used to pull my hair, like, but like pulling her hair's fine, like she would pull like the sides of my hair, like just I can't even remember why she would do it, but she would like pull the sides of my hair, and I hated it. I hated the sides getting pulled. It hurt so much more. So I would like I would gradually like work it in so that she only pulled the front, because it like hurt less. So I was like trying to like mitigate the pain that she was like fucking inflicting. I was like, I used to like bite my shoulder and like fucking grab my dick, man. Like she would grab my dick and like walk me by my dick, man. I like grab my balls and shit, and she would like squeeze them, and I was like, fucking let go, man. I was like, let fucking go, man.
And this wasn't like when you were like shagging, or like what? This was just in like.
No, we were like together, like.
No. As in like, was this like during sex?
No. This was just like, we'd be just like chilling.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of fucked.
I'm really sorry
yeah.
I do that.
Nah, it's all good, man. Like it's just character building, innit? But we so when we split up, then I was like, fucking hell, man. Like I can't believe a year and a half.
So you like what, like 17, 18 when you broke up?
So I was 17 when we broke up, and then I got another girlfriend like pretty soon after. Like, I met another girl like pretty soon after, and I was like, this is crazy.
You're so nice to me.
I literally, like, she would compliment me, and I was like, that's insane that you are complimenting me. I was like, it's that's almost as if you like you value my fucking time, and you value me as a. So that was like, that was a whole fucking weird thing, but like I think it's good to experience that at a young age, because you've got more time to like grow after it and kind of reflect on it and like mature after it and look back at it and reason with why, because I kind of seen that like why she was doing these kind of things. It's because she was like, her family was kind of dysfunctional and shit like that, like so that I kind of understood more about like why she was doing what she was doing, but obviously it fucking sucked at the time. Do you know what I mean?
That's really, really fucking rough.
Aye, but it's
Like, obviously,
it happens.
like,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it like shapes you like as a person. Stuff, but like you went through that at like 16. That's so young, and like you could have just thought of that like that's how it was. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's the problem with like people in relationships like at a young age. You don't have much kind of scope for reference. Like if you're really badly treated, like if you've not had a lot of people that you've been with, then how do you know? And also, if you really like somebody, then you almost sacrifice your own well-being just to be with the person because you don't want to lose them.
Yeah, that was literally me with my first boyfriend. Well, not the one that was on our soul, the one after. Like, I literally would have thrown myself off of a cliff.
Yeah.
And like,
it's fucked. It's fucked because it's like it's to your own detriment.
Young love is so intense. Like, see, when we broke up, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I did not think I'd ever recover. And like, even to this day, like, he's the only ex that I'm actually on good terms with. But like, even to this day, like, it's still like some of the memories that I have are like, if I walk past someone, I'm like, oh my god, like I feel it in my chest that like even though I don't want to be with him anymore. Yeah. Like, it's still, he was so like, he was my first love. Like first
what age were you again?
I was 17, and then we broke up when I was 18.
So it's not actually that long ago.
No, it's not that long ago. But
so that would be why it's still like.
Yeah, it's still like I can still feel it, even though like I'm not in love with him anymore. It's just more like I missed like the.
How long used to?
We broke up on our 1 year anniversary before we went out for dinner, which was.
Where were you going for dinner?
We were going to some steak place in Edinburgh.
That explains it.
Yeah, that's exactly why we broke up. But yeah, so it was just like, it's crazy how that kind of stuff like, you know, stays with you, and like it'll come out through your music and things.
Yeah, well, I think it's good to like channel it. It's good to like.
Have you written a nice song about a girl?
Yeah, like my most recent one. To be honest, like so I'm kind of going like the other way now, and now I'm like romanticizing.
Are you in a relationship now?
Yeah, we haven't written any songs about her.
Okay.
But because I think that's the part with like songwriting is you can make up scenarios.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be.
So you could come out with a song about her, and she's like, "Nah, that fucking happens."
Could.
Fair.
It hasn't happened yet, but I think that is a good thing. But writing songs, man, you don't have to. It doesn't have to have happened. You can just imagine it happening, or like whatever, man, and I think that fucking it works. Like, and it's fun. It's fun. It's like just creating these wee fucking storylines.
Yeah. What is the goal? Like, you want to be? Do you want to be like the biggest superstar on the planet?
Bigger than Prince.
You want to be bigger than Prince?
Walk around like bigger than Prince. No, I want to be like I just want to be like a fucking. I want to be.
Do you want to be a musician? Or do you want to do a bit of everything?
I want to get to a point where like I'm touring fucking everywhere and selling out like the biggest shit everywhere and charting everything and fucking. But then I suppose that's a kind of like a narcissistic element of like being an artist is like
all artists.
There has to be a level of groundedness within the narcissism. Like you have to like bring yourself back, and I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I actually love what I do.
But you have to have some sort of. There is something that like, you know.
There has to be like
that brings you to that point where you're like, I want to be.
The industry's too cutthroat for you to just be like a fucking like a pushover and just be like. I kind of think I'm good.
You have to sell yourself.
You have to be realistic as well, like, not an arsehole.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Wasn't expecting that answer. I want to sell it everywhere. But then again, I don't know what I was expecting.
Oh, no, but I do, like, and I wholeheartedly believe that I will.
Who's your idol?
So, controversial at this point in time, but Kanye West, before the whole before the whole anti-Semitism thing,
and
the whole
everything.
Kanye, I fucking love Kanye, man. Kanye is, but I'm gonna err on the side of society right now and say I don't agree with his recent statements. But I think that what he's done, from grown up until like in like the kind of shit, he obviously had Yeezy. He's been in the fucking. He's just like such a phenomenal producer and artist. So I think like his political shit aside, the rest of the stuff of what like you can still appreciate the artist, and you can separate the artist from like the kind of bullshit
his music is great.
shit.
I'll give it, like his music is amazing.
Like look at fucking Britney Spears. Like I
think that's different though. Like he's literally been anti-Semitic. He's literally made black models wear T-shirts saying white lives matter. Like that's so different. I think that's like everybody has like a difference in political opinion, which is fine. Like they're entitled to display that in whatever way they see fit. You can face the social repercussions for that and societal repercussions for that. Like, but that's your choice at the end of the day. It's just like what did you say before? Oh, I lose my fucking train of thought so easy, man. You said something. What about? But like, a lot about Kanye.
Aye.
About me saying that he's not like Britney Spears. I
yes,
don't think it's the same thing.
Yeah. But you can see the effect that media has.
But I also don't think that's an excuse for the way he's behaved. Because, like, I'm sorry, do you see Britney Spears going about acting like that? No.
It's never. I don't think any of that shit's ever an excuse. It's just the same as like mental health's not an excuse to be a fucking arsehole.
Yeah, completely.
Like if you're an arsehole, you're still an arsehole. You can cut a bit of slack.
Yeah.
But like you're not getting fucking let away with it. Do you know what I mean? Like we all have to fucking pay our dues to our fucking actions, but it sheds a bit of light or like on maybe why they're like fucked up in the head. Do you know what I mean? And also, I think people love to see people. So like, say you call Kanye a genius, or if you think these people are geniuses and shit like that, and then they do fucking crazy shit. It's like, well, aye, because he's a pure insane creative. Like these people are insane creatives. Like, so you have to be a bit fucking crazy.
Yeah, completely. No, you need to be a bit delirious. Like, you have to.
It's just that it doesn't fit their how what kind of crazy they want you to be. Like, and I'm talking about like social media is particularly toxic for it, because anything just fucking snowballs, and any opinion that gets like clickbait just goes out there, and I don't agree with that. Like, because it's just like whoever has the loudest voice and can make the catchiest fucking shareable Instagram post, because you see it all the time, like shit just on people's stories, just as long as it's short and clickbaity, you can click, and it's just like that just percolates into the voice of society. But people love craziness until it's like not their kind of crazy, and it's like
that's very
you can't have all the things that you like about, and then when they do something that's out with, because it's like they like the things that if somebody does something that's like fucking batshit crazy and they're like, oh, I fucking love that, it's because they're crazy. Do you know what I mean? But then they do something that's like they don't really agree with, and it's like, I don't like them anymore. It's like, well, okay, well, they were fucking crazy to begin with.
Yeah.
So like you take what you can fucking get. Do you know what I mean?
Are you scared of ever getting cancelled?
Not really, man. I kind of don't give a fuck. Like, I'm cautious about, like, I wouldn't like overstep a boundary just for the sake of like overstepping a boundary, but I also wouldn't like not be myself.
Yeah.
For fear of being cancelled. Like, I also really don't agree with like a lot of like the cancel culture. It's the worst. It's like it's the worst.
It ruins people's lives.
Yeah, and sometimes before, I mean, just sometimes it is just.
Yeah. Like,
and people deserve like to fucking, and that's another example of you deal with the consequences of your actions, because I feel like Alex Jones talking about like the Sandy Hook thing and shit like that. And
wait, what's that?
So like Sandy Hook was like
Sandy Hook,
the shooting, and so Alex Jones is like a kind of controversial conspiracy voice in America, and he just used to chat a lot of shite, basically. Loads of conspiracy theories. That was his shtick. And then he said one thing about a conspiracy about the Sandy Hook thing, where like all the parents were like actors, and that they interviewed were all actors and shit like that. And he caught a lot of heat for it, but quite rightly. So he was like kind of shut down from, like, ostracised from social media and the internet in general, pretty much. And so he had to deal with that. But there are other cases where, like, maybe people have maybe said something in, like, the heat of a moment because they've been, like, done wrong to, or something like that, or like something's happened and there's no context to, like, how that's presented on social media. It's just the outcome. You just see the outcome. You see maybe the outburst from the person, and then it's just like fucking dog pile.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't agree with that, man. Like, but I think again that just gives rise to, like, the fucking state of, like, social media and, like, this kind of mob mentality.
Yeah, social media is. You need to be on social media.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally.
back in the day, like, if you wanted to be an artist, it wasn't like this. You're quite big on TikTok.
Definitely not.
I think you're big
Like-
for Scotland. Like, there's not that many Scottish TikTokers.
Alex Jones has just literally 5 days ago been forced by the Texas government. No, not Texas government. Texas. What? I've literally just lost the page there. Texas judge to pay $49 million in damage. And
Damages and shit like that, like,
damages and stuff. Because he was like, well, it's like he was chatting shit about families and everything, and spreading. I don't know too much about it in general, but it was just spreading false information, and it's like he was among the bunch of people that got banned from Twitter, like Andrew Tate and everything. But obviously Elon Musk has brought back Andrew Tate and other characters, Donald Trump.
But he said he's not going to bring back.
Jones is a big
Jones.
no. So it's just kind of like, it's one of those things that social media is tough.
Do you think that? What's your thoughts on Andrew Tate? This is and because, like, I feel like this is a good.
I think that he knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get clicks. He's a wee attention seeker. I've deleted Twitter so many times 'cause I just couldn't be arsed. It got like sometimes it can be.
I actually hate Twitter. I think it's bullshit.
It's very toxic.
It's so It's the worst.
You could say TikTok's really toxic too. TikTok is not filtered. See the amount of shit that I fucking see on TikTok is so bizarre.
See, I actually don't really scroll through TikTok. Like,
do you not?
Nah, I'm more of a YouTube Shorts kind of guy.
Are you? Everyone keeps talking about YouTube Shorts. Finley's been telling me that we need to get onto YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. Oh, like, totally. There's just so much more.
I only really watch
juicy
podcast
content.
clips on TikTok though, because I do love podcasts, and like I only really follow podcasts.
What's like? If you get any podcasts, like top 3?
So there's a podcast called Brown Girls Do It Too, and it's these two Asian girls that it's on the BBC, and they talk about like the stigma around being Asian and sex and stuff, and it's fucking hilarious. That one. And then also there's a podcast called My Therapist Ghosted Me by Vogue Williams and
what's the name?
Joanne McNally.
I think I've seen it somewhere. I feel like I've seen that. It's actually a really good podcast
They're
name.
absolutely hilarious. Honestly, it's so funny. And then my third one's probably the Obsessed podcast with Benny Drama and Mary Beth Barone.
Actually,
Listen to all of them.
You can send me them.
I'll send them to you
listen.
later.
I like loads of, like, so I would say Tiger Belly's like my first, because I love.
But it is quite controversial. I don't think you should ever be making comments about kids.
I think no, totally. I think like
He's a
I don't
comedian.
think
It's okay.
I don't think he intended it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think it was intended to talk.
No,
about
because he
kids,
literally said something along the lines of, "Oh, when I look at kids, I think of, like it's something about."
I think he said like somebody was flat chested, like a kid or something like that. I know.
And then like
bad analogy.
Yeah, really, really bad.
I think like I feel like no holds barred conversations are good though. Like when people are just like they don't give a fuck about like
Within reason,
of course. Like there's no point in just being like sensationalist. Like if you're I don't know, just try to get a rise out of like situation just for the fact of just being a dick. But I do think like Tiger Belly's fucking hilarious.
okay, I'll give him an actual listen to, because I never close myself off to listening to like new podcasts and stuff, but it's just because I saw that clip and I was like, that's disgusting.
Have you ever heard of the Joe Rogan podcast?
Have I ever heard of the Joe Rogan podcast? Behave.
What do you think about the Joe Rogan?
No, I don't care. I think he's a twat.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it before?
Give the platform to someone that actually fucking deserves it.
Who deserves it?
Brown Girls do it too. I think they're a great
That's fair,
podcast.
that's fair.
They deserve a lot more recognition than Joe fucking shit-faced Rogan.
I love the bitterness.
I think it's just he does it every day.
I just find him so
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's every day. It's a different piece of content, and he's talking
Yeah.
to someone new
Yeah.
all the time.
Because he was like one of the OGs at it, like he was like there from. To be honest, he has the biggest podcast and has been for years, and so it kind of it's
Some
set
of
a kind of.
yeah.
I think
Maybe I'm jealous.
I think it sounds
Maybe
like.
I want to be Joe Rogan.
I think you look a bit like Joe Rogan. No, I think I quite like it because of the variety of guests that it has on. Like Lex Friedman, his podcast as well is really good because he's like just a pure down to earth, like nice, but he's extremely smart, and they have like open conversations about like world. I'm pretty much describing every fucking podcast. Like, I think they're really smart. I think they talk really candidly about. But yeah, like I would say those are like my fucking. I'll slightly maybe.
Joe Rogan and Tiger Belly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you some more podcasts, mate, because
I will listen. I am not shut off to any podcast. Like
Good,
I
that's what I like
love.
to
I
hear.
love all.
But I've got a podcast coming out with the BBC that I'm filming the first episode of tomorrow.
You're doing it with the BBC?
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast with the BBC as well as this one.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
We've actually not got a name yet. It's
So
literally been in the works for so long.
Has it? So what? How did that come about?
I had like connections with BBC for a while. Like, what year is it? 2022. Like since 2019 to like 2020. When the fuck was COVID? Okay,
2020.
I don't understand the years. 2020. I've been in contact with them since 2020 because I started a Instagram page talking about young people going through bereavements and stuff and things like that. So they contacted me about that. I was on the BBC.
Yeah, I seen that kind of like I got a kind of sense of that in your Instagram.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, my dad had skin cancer. That's why I was telling you off for going on a fucking Sunny.
And what did I say?
And you went, I'd rather die, Dad. But yeah, so my dad has skin cancer. I found out the day before my Nat 5 maths exam, which was fucking shit.
I cannot believe that I just said that to you, but yeah, carry on.
It's fine. I can take humour. It's chill. And then
You should watch the Joe Rogan podcast.
anyway, so yeah, and then he had it for 5-6 years, and he died just before Christmas there. So yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I started that, like that was like 2 years before he died. And then I went on the BBC, talked about it and stuff, and then ever since then, like I'd always stayed in contact with him. And like, but then like my dad died and I was just obviously very fucking upset, so I didn't really want to do anything anymore. And then I had my other podcast, Hush Hush, but then that stopped happening, and then I literally felt like I lost all creativity. Like I just didn't want to do anything. I felt numb. I felt like I had no idea what I was doing in life, and then things started to pick back up again.
What was that caused by? Was that caused by just a kind of amalgamation of things, but maybe triggered by like the death of your dad?
Yeah, I think it was completely triggered by that. And I
that's
think
the
I was
thing.
just already going through a shit time. Like I'd gone through a bit of a shit break. I was really just not having a good time. Then my dad died, and like it was coming out of COVID and stuff, and like, you know how fucking weird everything was with COVID. Like I just had a really shit time. I was just really depressed. I also struggled really badly with seasonal depression, and my dad died like during winter, and I was like, okay.
Worst winter ever, man.
Yeah, he died like 3 days before Christmas as well, which was just fucking brilliant. So yeah, it was just shite. I always knew that I wanted to do podcasts, and like I've known this since I was like 17. Like I've known that like I want to chat and I want to like talk about difficult things, and like no topics off the table. But
I think the kind of topic of bereavement and stuff like that and is an interesting one, because I think there's a lot of things that can like stem from that. And for me, it was like kind of like abandonment issues, and I only had this realization kind of recently as well. Like when I think it was like, so my granddad died of motor neurons when I was 4.5, and it like fucking sizzled me, man. Like, it just actually ruined me. And I don't think I got over it until I was like 19, which is fucking crazy. Like a kid. Like, if you seen a kid that's like 4 or 5 in the street and they lost a grandparent, you'd be like, you get over it soon, man. You're only like fucking 4 or 5. But it just affected me so profoundly. And then I think that kind of led to like, I think that's linked with, because I just have this fucking crippling fear that anyone I get like involved with, like romantically, will just like fucking leave me. And then like I split with a girl that I was with for 3.5 years in 2017, and it was like, I think it was just like, I don't want to say PTSD because I've not spoken to a therapist about it, but it was definitely, I think it was linked with the trauma of losing my granddad when I was that age, and then this girl, and I just felt like she just fucking vanished out of my life, man. I was like in love with her, and it was like, it just affected me so fucking badly, man. So I think that is an interesting topic, because I think like bereavement and loss,
it affects every aspect of your life.
So much.
Like, it affected my sex life for a really long time. It affected the way I was sleeping, eating, just literally just seeing the world, waking up every day and feeling like I'd like, but even like now, like it's gotten a bit easier, but like I still feel like I've got like this massive like weight on my shoulders, and like
you're not even a year.
Yeah.
So,
and that's also what I'm doing, because this was like my first birthday without my dad, which was fucking rough. And then like I think I cried like 2 or 3 times throughout the day. I cried into my brunch and cried into my drinks and cried into my dinner. Like, it was just really shit. And like,
that's a bit of salt though.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it does. No one really understands until they go through it themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking so brutal.
Yeah.
Especially because my dad had like a really vicious cancer, and I literally watched him die. And like, at the end, like, he just completely changed as a person, didn't even really recognise who I was anymore. Like, it was really fucked up. I was not expecting to get into this with you. I was gonna be like, tell me about your TikTok.
No, like I like it. I like deep conversations, man. I like getting into like the pure. We'll continue that.
Yeah, there's gonna be an episode 2 all about that.
So that's a TBC.
Yeah, that is exactly. It's a TBC, but
Yeah,
I think let's kind of reel it back to the music.
Yeah.
Start plugging your stuff. Any future things?
So I've got an EP coming out after the new year. So
Cool.
I'll have like it's gonna series of live shows. I want to play in
Please,
Edinburgh,
can I
man.
come?
Of course.
Oh my
I would
God.
be insanely infuriated if you weren't there.
Oh wait, no, I will be there. Me and Finlay will be there.
Yeah. So I'll
100%.
get a show like I want to play in Edinburgh. I want to play kind of about Scotland, but I want to play like across the UK as well. So EP's coming out after the new year. So you can follow my Spotify, Leif Coffield, on my TikTok if you want to see shite fucking sketches and shit.
I find them funny. I do find them funny. The one about poo, I was.
Yeah, that's actually been doing so much better than I thought it was, man. Like,
It's so funny, Ben. I'll show you afterwards. It made me howl. I was showing a boy your TikTok the other day. 'cause
plug him.
No. I was showing him because he's on TikTok, and he was like, "Oh, who are you coming on your podcast?" I was like, "This guy." And he's like, "I saw his poo video. He's so funny," and I was like, "Oh my God, yeah."
It's weird, man. Like it's strange the videos that take off, and it's strange the videos that, like, because sometimes I'll think up like these ideas for like a video or something like that, and then it just won't do as well as like these.
That's
fucking
what's so
ones
weird
where you're
about
talking
TikTok.
shite.
That's what's so weird about TikTok. You never know what's gonna take off
I know.
and stuff.
But it's fun. Like TikTok has been fucking brilliant, man. And the people at TikTok, like the UK team and shit like that, are actually like, because sometimes it's easy with these kind of big companies to just see the company and you don't see the people behind it. But the team there that look after like the creators and shit like that are just so fucking good.
Really?
Joanna, who's now I think she's like global development fucking leader or something like that, but she was just looking after like fashion and shit like that. She's just so fucking cool, man, and like so good at her job, and the rest of the team are just so fucking amazing at their job, and you're like, this is actually like it instills a bit of kind of faith in like TikTok. It's like they took us down to the Fringe, like during the Fringe, and that, like put us up in the Sheraton for a week.
They put you in the Sheraton for a week.
For a week. It was insane, man, and like
you could have just commuted.
Exactly. Like the I'm pretty sure the price of like a room during the Fringe at the Sheraton is like, it's like I don't want to say it, it's like just under $1,000 or something like that for a night. It's fucking crazy, man. But they put us up there, like they had about fucking 15 creators every week, and they just did it on rotation.
I saw you were in a video with this guy that I fancy so much. What's his name?
Henry.
No, he's English and he always does like posh girl videos.
Henry.
Is it Henry?
Yeah,
is that his
yeah.
name? He's so funny.
But
Is it not then like Rowley?
Yeah, Henry Rowley.
Henry Rowley. Oh,
Yeah.
he's I will crush.
So he had this idea for a video. Where he was like, he wanted to do this. Hey guys, I'm in Edinburgh right now.
Was that you that was telling them to shut the fuck up?
Yeah. So it was like, I want to use your accent. So I was like, yeah, I sound like.
You were that video.
Mm-hmm.
That was him in the video.
Fuck off. We used that for a lecture in our
Oh, really?
yesterday and everything. I can't remember. It was something about American stuff. Comedian shit, and we used the lecturer showed that video.
That's so funny, man. But I was getting people like after it sending me like, is this fucking you? Is this you? Like people tagging me in TikTok like, this is fucking. I hadn't even said anything about it, like. But so it was so fucking funny that people could.
It went viral, that video. It was so funny.
Massive, man. It was insane. Like, so he had that idea. So he was like, let's do this fucking thing, and then
it was so funny.
he's like, so we were at the Fringe and shit like that, and with
The Fringe is so fun. I was working in the restaurant for the whole month of the Fringe. I've never seen Edinburgh like that before.
I think we've seen maybe like 2 shows the entire time over there. Like the rest of the time we just sat in the hotel just getting fucking steaming, man.
Yeah.
And it was class.
No, I really loved the Fringe.
Our group was all like kind of comedy creators, so it was just so funny, man. Like everyone, like there's like fashion and like beauty and all that kind of stuff, but like our group, like nobody, there was no fucking bravado or like bullshit. Everybody's just there to like fucking have a laugh. Mm-hmm. So it was so class, man.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. And then obviously like you get some fucking good viral fucking content out of it. You know what I mean? So well, I'm excited to see where the podcast goes, man.
You can come on whenever you want. I've really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for our really deep, depressing conversation.
Same, by the way.
I'll make us hot chocolates and we can get really
Are
cozy.
you gonna have a coffee for me this time?
Am I gonna have a what?
A coffee?
A coffee right now?
Decaf? No, for me next time.
No, I'm gonna get you a hot chocolate.
Okay.
That's a lot more comforting than a decaf coffee over a really deep chat. Would
Okay,
you not
fine.
rather a nice hot chocolate, loads of marshmallow, squishy cream, bit of cinnamon?
Mixing it up.
Say no more.
I'll take it.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'll be front row at your gig.
Please do.
Me and Finlay.
You have guesty.
What? Do I get a VIP pass?
You get VIP pass.
Holy fuck.
You're loving it.
Thank you so much.
Woo.